Derek Chisora versus Pulev. Just wanted to do a short little post on that fight. I thought that was a Derek Chisora. I mean, where do we start with him? I mean, he's fought some good guys. His best performance, without question of a doubt, was when he fought Vitaly Klitschko, and he took him the distance. That was the best performance of his career. He came off of that. Situation happened with David Haye. He got KO'd. Fought Tyson Fury, got beat twice, and he was fighting for the European title against Pulev, and he got beat. You know, um, I don't know. When asked whether he wanted to fight Anthony Joshua, he said that he didn't want to fight Joshua because he's not a stepping stone. He was saying, "I'm not a stepping stone fighter. I'm not a journeyman. I'm an experienced fighter. Fought at world level. Anthony Joshua hasn't beaten anybody, so why should I fight him? Let him earn his way," kind of thing. I think that's the stance he was sort of taking a few months ago. Um, but obviously Anthony Joshua is now the IBF heavyweight champion of the world. But I mean, I don't think Derek Chisora would have beat Anthony Joshua. No way. But I think right now Derek Chisora really needs to kind of go back to the drawing board and think about what he's going to do with his career, because he's been very busy. I think when he lost against Tyson Fury, it was a bad loss. I mean, Tyson Fury, we know he's like 6'9", he's awkward and he can box, so he was just keeping Derek Chisora at range with that jab all night, jab, 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 cross, jab, jab. Kept him at bay. And John Charles just pulled him out the fight and said, "Look, we've got to pull you out of this." And I think since then he's been fighting like low level fighters. But I do admire Derek Chisora's work ethic to an extent. He loves boxing, he loves to fight, he gives it his all. And he thought, you know what, I'm just gonna take some easy fights, get back to winning ways, get myself to that level, and then see what happens from there. So I can understand the sort of discipline and the mindset behind fighting all these guys, and then taking the Pulev fight. Obviously, there's never a dull moment about when Derek Chisora is fighting, especially at press conferences. He's always doing up to something. If he's not spitting water in someone or slapping someone up or getting bottled, he's doing something or turning up unexpectedly. He's always doing some random stuff. But this time, he went head to head with Pulev. Someone hit him with a plastic bottle, and then he kind of went mental. But at the end of the day, someone hits you with the bottle, you're all hyped up. You're gonna get annoyed and aggravated. But it made for good viewing and a good build up. So going into this fight, I think that I thought that Pulev was going to beat him. It's just too experienced. Pulev is a very experienced fighter. Lost to Vladimir Klitschko, and I thought he was going to beat Derek Chisora, if you want me to be honest. But again, Derek Chisora put up a really, really spirited performance. He tried to use head movement, sort of Joe Frazier style movement, where he was sort of leaning, moving his head, and taking a lot of kind of throwing a lot of body shots, switching up the attack from body to head movement. So I can understand what he was trying to do, being the slightly smaller man. He's 6'2". Pulev, I believe, was 6'4". So if someone's looking, the taller guy will always look to keep the shorter guy at range with the jab. So it only made sense for Chisora to kind of bob, weave, move, switch up the attack from body to head, in order to kind of confuse things a little bit. And he landed some, couple good overhand rights, kind of rattled Pulev, and he was going to the body a lot. But I think Pulev read into what Chisora was trying to do. And when Chisora was throwing those big looping right hands, Pulev was just sort of stepping back, keeping him at range, setting his feet, planting his feet, and just jabbing and crossing, jabbing and crossing. When Derek Chisora was moving his head, it was becoming pretty predictable. So Pulev would just come with the uppercut, bing. And the thing is, when you're moving your head like that, when you're bending at the waist and you're moving your head, you're gonna get uppercut. You're susceptible to the uppercut. So, like someone like Mike Tyson, for instance, when he used to slip punches, he used to move from side to side. See, Joe Frazier used to move his head, but Frazier used to bend at the hips. And when you watch him fight against George Foreman, he was doing that sort of bending at the hips, and George Foreman just caught him with an uppercut and knocked him out. Whereas Tyson was moving side to side, and it's difficult to kind of land uppercuts when someone's moving, or straight shots when someone's moving side to side and rolling. But Derek Chisora didn't have the athleticism for that sort of movement, or the kind of stamina for that sort of movement, because moving your head a lot requires that you use up a lot of energy. But I think Pulev pretty much worked him out very early on, and he convincingly won the fight. I wanted Derek Chisora to win. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. As for Chisora, I don't know. I think he wants world honours. I don't think, if you want me to be honest, without criticising, he's actually ready, or that he'll ever be world champ. I don't think he will. So it begs the question, should Derek Chisora retire? Where does he go from here? Should he have a few more sort of European level fights and then just call it a day? I don't know. I wanted him to win. It was an unfortunate situation that it didn't happen, but hey ho, here we go. I'm hearing that was a title eliminator for Anthony Joshua's title. Anthony Joshua's fighting Brazil coming up. So we'll see what happens after that. I think Pulev would be a dangerous fight for Anthony Joshua. He hits hard. He's an experienced fighter. But, let's see what happens. One fight at a time, one step at a time. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the fight. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening.